Welcome to Medieval Peasant History, where we discover the daily lives, struggles, and triumphs of the people who formed the backbone of medieval society. From dawn to dusk, peasants toiled to provide food, tend livestock, and ensure the survival of their communities. Their stories are rarely told, but they are woven into the very fabric of history. Peasants made up the vast majority of the population in medieval Europe. These men and women lived under feudal lords, working the land in exchange for protection and a place to live. But their lives were far from simple. They faced challenges from the elements, heavy taxes, and the ever-present shadow of war. Despite these obstacles, peasants created vibrant communities filled with traditions, relationships, and a deep connection to the land. To understand medieval peasants, we first need to understand the feudal system, a hierarchy that dominated medieval Europe. At the top were kings and nobles who owned vast tracts of land. Below them were lords who administered these lands and ruled over the peasants. At the bottom of this pyramid were the peasants themselves. Peasants worked the land for their lords, paying taxes in the form of crops, livestock, or labor. In return, they received protection from bandits or invading armies. This exchange, while seemingly fair on paper, often left the peasants with barely enough to survive. However, their role was essential as they underpinned the entire feudal economy. The peasants' daily life revolved around hard work. They plowed fields, harvested crops, and tended animals. The seasons dictated their routines, with planting in the spring, tending in the summer, and harvesting in the fall. Winter, though calmer, brought its own hardships, including food shortages and bitter cold. A medieval village was a world unto itself. Peasants lived in small one-room houses with thatched roofs. These homes were modest, usually with dirt floors and a central fireplace for cooking and keeping warm. Families lived close to each other, sharing their living space with chickens or pigs during the harsh winters. Meals were simple, consisting of bread, porridge, and occasional vegetables. Meat was a luxury reserved for special occasions or wealthier families. Peasants brewed beer as a staple drink, as clean water was scarce. Despite their limited resources, these communities were resourceful and resilient. Religion played a central role in village life. The local church was not only a place of worship, but also a social hub. Peasants attended weekly mass and celebrated holy days, which provided much-needed breaks from work. Faith offered hope and solace, especially in times of hardship. Peasant life was far from idyllic. They faced harsh taxes from their lords and the church, leaving little for their own families. Poor harvests or livestock disease could lead to starvation. During these times, famine and disease devastated entire communities. Wars between lords or kingdoms often devastated villages. Armies plundered crops, burned homes, and forced peasants to flee. In the 14th century, the Black Death swept across Europe, killing millions and leaving villages empty. These challenges shaped the resilience and ingenuity of peasant communities. Despite their hardships, peasants were not powerless. Over time, their dissatisfaction with oppressive systems led to revolts. One of the most famous was the English peasants' revolt of 1381. Angry at high taxes and poor treatment, thousands of peasants marched to London demanding justice. Although most of the revolts were crushed, they left a lasting impact, challenging the authority of feudal lords and planting the seeds of change. These revolts demonstrated the strength and determination of peasants who refused to accept injustice and silence. Women played a vital role in peasant life. They managed the households, cared for the children, and worked alongside the men in the fields. Many women also spun wool, made clothes, or brewed beer to contribute to the family income. Their lives were demanding, but their contributions were vital to the survival of the community. Peasant life was not all work and hardship. Villages came alive during festivals celebrating the changing seasons and religious holidays. These events included feasting, music, dancing, and games, offering a rare chance to relax and enjoy life. Peasants were the heart of medieval society, facing incredible challenges, but finding ways to build meaningful lives.